Miranda, and this is my little sister, Ashley, who has a YouTube channel as well. I'll be putting her link down below. I'm usually going to do unboxings and fun stuff, but this video is a little more personal, and I found that a lot of things don't matter to many people anymore. Hurricane Laura kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things, such as injustices that are not being addressed. The ADA, they don't care, not really, when it comes to wheelchair-bound people, and hotels, such as, but also, I got mentally abused at a hotel, and then I got injured at a hotel due to this specific person. I'm going to leave that out for now. But it was a major hotel chain, and because of the situation of that we didn't pay for that specific night at that specific hotel or whatever, they no lawyers want to touch the case. They're interested to know details. They'll call me out of the blue wanting to know how it happened, but then say, I'm sorry, I really needed to know how it happened, but I can't help you. I'm so sorry. Maybe I can give you a referral to someone who can. Guess what? They can't. I've also contacted the senators, at least one, and haven't heard back from him yet. I had a lawyer who thought it was a really good case. Only one little wrinkle, the fact that that night at that hotel we didn't pay, but we had to sneak out, and we were treated pretty badly, and put in situations that we shouldn't have been. And at this point now, I'm reaching out to the public, and I'm hoping to reach out to the media to bring some attention to this fact, because today I found out that I'll never be the same again. I function at a 22% compared to what I did, and from there it'll be 51% if therapy is successful. I have 6 weeks of physical therapy that I have to go through twice a week. Thanks to my mental meds, I cannot take any pain medicine or anything like that. So I have to deal with the pain, and I have a very high pain tolerance. Last week, I was in the hospital where I couldn't walk at all because the pain was so severe. So I got to kind of feel what my mom goes through every day. You know, not being able to do things on her own, except for I couldn't even stand up on my own. She can stand and she can sit, but she's in a lot of pain as she does it. I now have had a taste of pain, and today during the initial therapy, I was crying, and it was literally nothing, like barely anything, but it hurts so bad and no one cares. My sister, she witnessed the whole thing. We were in a room that was handicap accessible. Would you say it was technically handicap accessible, other than the shower?
No. You couldn't hardly move around in the room. You had to put my mom in a corner just to get into the bathroom. And even then, you had to wheel her up a little lip thing to get into the shower.
Yeah, it wasn't like you would think it would be. If you've made it this far in the video, it means that you're a caring person and that you want to do something. The only thing that I can think of is to make this go viral. Make people listen. Make people stop and think for a minute. And if it can help out my family, it can help out a lot more, because let me tell you something. Not just in it for the money, and I don't necessarily want the money other than the fact that Medicaid is definitely going to reject to pay for this because it's an injury, which they're going to go after the hotel chain in that case. So that part, it's really not about that at this point. For me, yes, losing a lot of my abilities to do things. I was well on my way to losing weight. And now, I don't know how that's going to go because I qualified to get this, smaller. Now, without the weight loss being possible as easily as it was going, I'm looking at maybe having to have a gastric bypass. I don't know. Because now my circumstances are changed where I can't go to the gym. I can't work out. I can not even bend over without having to use a wall or something to stand back up straight. And it's because they did not make this room handicap accessible, but I was blackmailed and forced to take this room by a woman who was, I'm guessing, the front desk manager during the daytime. And this is a popular hotel chain and a popular hotel. And every room on their site is beautiful and would have done better than what they gave us. Matter of fact, the room was probably, the usable space was, well, it was not very much. 4 people were expected to stay in a room where you couldn't pass each other between the bed and the dresser.
There was only one bed, and you had to ask for a cot because mattresses were not allowed in the room because it is a safety hazard.
And if you put even one of those cots down, you couldn't move the wheelchair at all. Unfortunately for me and my circumstance with this hotel and this hotel room that I was guilt tripped into taking, there was a 90-degree angle to turn the wheelchair. And I don't know if you know this, but wheelchairs in a 2 foot by 2 foot radius turning ratio doesn't really work out all that well. And so I strained and pulled every muscle in my back. And then lifting and twisting on the wheelchair just to try to make that corner to get her to where I could get her to the bed to put her on the bed. And in the process of doing that, I hit the corner of the dresser in 2 locations on my spine, which caused contusions to my spine. But my lower vertebrae, it caused so much damage that it compressed. I know L4 for sure, and on go down, where there is also 4 nerves coming out. I didn't know that part either until I was desperately explaining that today, what my MRI showed. And with the pressure and everything and all the swelling and stuff like that, it has literally started pushing my cartilage out of my spinal cord. And there's no way to relieve that. And there's no way to get 100% back from that. And I'm 30 years old. I know a lot of you may be younger, but I'll admit my age right now. I'm 30. I just made 30. I haven't had an adult life outside of being a mom. So I was kind of looking forward to in 4 years, being able to do the things that I missed out on. Now those things aren't going to be possible. So I just want justice for everyone who is suffering, trying to deal with hotels, losing everything, having to start a whole new plan and not having anywhere to go. And then, the one day that we reached out outside of using our own money, we were treated worse than prisoners. And I know that because my daddy's a prison guard. And he treats the prisoners better than what we got treated. We had to sneak out of the hotel to a different hotel that we paid for that night too, after that woman left. And then the next day, she tried to have me committed because I was crying. And this woman was literally antagonizing me and getting in my face and I study psychology. I love psychology. I knew what this woman wanted me to say. I said it. So that way she would just leave me alone. But I told her that the room wouldn't work. And then that's where the blackmail and guilt trip came in, where she told me that somebody put their job on the line. Me, most caring person in the world. I never thought about the wheelchair part because that's not typically something that I had to deal with. My dad always planned the vacations. My dad, oh my God, I could never fill his shoes. Every hotel that Daddy picks are perfect. But I never knew how much detail and stuff. I will tell you this though. The La Meridian in the Dallas area, if the city and everything would have allowed the GM to help us, I wouldn't be hurt right now. My mom wouldn't blame herself, and I wouldn't be making this video. But now, I think things need to change. And I think the ADA needs to make some changes because they don't care about furniture in hotels or anything else. Whenever furniture is kind of one of the main things, handicap accessible, wheelchair accessible, that means that a wheelchair bound person should be able to switch from their wheelchair to the bed. I don't think a wheelchair bound person that is like, now she's probably 5 foot?
A little bit taller than me.
Yeah, but she can't stand up straight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, imagine trying to get on a bed that is 4 feet tall and you can't use your legs and your strength sucks due to degenerative arthritis, which by the way runs in the family, but hers got accelerated pretty badly in a car accident. She's been in bad shape for a while, but she's gotten worse. So all I'm asking for you people, I mean, whatever you feel you need to do. If you feel nothing, that's okay. But you could you could share it. Whatever, you reach out, try to make changes so that others don't go through this. You could try and help us. I would like that. I would accept any help at this point. I don't know what to do. I really don't. I've been told to press charges against the woman and the hotel, and I'm hours and hours away from that place now. So I really don't know how to do that either. I spoke to at least 15 attorneys today. So, changes need to be made. I'm hurt. I've been suggested to call them and ask for a settlement. But what's the point whenever I can't find anybody to file the lawsuit? Now, I could file the lawsuit myself and try and prosecute them myself, which could work, maybe. I'm smart enough. But I definitely think that not just this hotel chain, but all hotels, because there is so many of them. In the Dallas area, 99.9% of hotels are not truly handicap accessible. And I can tell you this, there was only 2 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that my mom could get into the bed. 2. Now, don't you think that that might be a problem? And it's not just my mom. We've spoken to other people who are also wheelchair bound, and they have the same problems. And dealing with FEMA and all of it, it was extra stress. 6 hotels in one day. 6 hotels in one day, where we made the reservation, going off what they said, going there, and then nothing. By the end of the day, my mom was so exhausted. Whenever we finally did find the Le Meridien, we stayed there as long as we could. And it was an amazing place to stay. And the staff was very welcoming. The place that we stayed at, part of the night where we had to sneak out, where we were treated like prisoners and trapped rats. After all of that, I just can't imagine anybody not having a heart to try to fix it. But there are a lot of attorneys that I have spoken to that they're curious how I got hurt, but yet will do absolutely nothing. Called a senator. Of course, he doesn't practice. I'm not even sure if he got my message. But I do know that the specific hotel will hear from me tomorrow. And by then, I hope that this has gone big enough that y'all check back on my channel for the name of the hotel and everything else, because I think that it's time that someone spoke up. Thank you. Anything to add?
No.
Like, share, hit the notification bell. Y'all have a good night. I'm going to try. My night consists of trying to find a way to relieve the pain and to try to sleep. My daughter fixed my hair because I can't right now. Anyway, you'll have a great night.